Okay, first up we've got 1945 from a double game disc, which has got 1945 1 and 2, the arcade games on. As you can see, I'm selecting the monkey difficulty, that being because although I love these games, I'm really not very good at them. There's plenty of fun to be had in this, numerous stages. I don't think I've even got to the end of this one yet. But yeah, every little bit of it that I've played I've enjoyed, even though it does get frustrating in places, but you know, that is the nature of shooters, I feel. But yeah, another one well worthy of getting picked up if you see it around. You know, if you like shoot 'em ups, don't hesitate with this one, just grab it. To be honest, I'd hesitate to call it a bullet hell by any means, but it does keep you on your toes, even in this easy mode. Unless you're one of these people that's got ninja-like reflexes. And here we have Auto Modelista, which, yeah, if nothing else, interesting for its art style, particularly in the world of racing games, because the developers, Capcom, went for a sort of cel-shaded, cartoony art style, which, you know, eye-catching if nothing else. But as it happens, it's also quite a good racing game. It's a little bit tricky at first to get the hang of, but you know, you persevere with it, and like most things, you get used to it. And yeah, once you get used to it, then yeah, plenty of fun racing to be had. Yeah, quite challenging in places. Not a lot of circuits that I'm familiar with personally, with the exception of the one that I'm racing on here, which is Suzuka in Japan. But yeah, if you see it going cheap, definitely pick it up. The next game in this list is Godzilla Save the Earth, which is a 3D fighting game based in the sort of Godzilla mythos, I guess. I don't know, mythos the right word? To be honest, not the smoothest 3D fighter, but just having all the different Godzilla characters in it still makes it worth a pick up, and I think it goes pretty cheap as well. So yeah, there's definitely fun to be had here, even if you only have a passing interest in Godzilla, like myself really. Yeah, it's, you know, still can't deny it's good fun, particularly when you get into the city stages and you're destroying all the city streets. You can pick things up and throw them, including the other combatants, buildings, all sorts of stuff really. And of course each character, as in every fighting game, has its own specials. So yeah, if you see it going around cheap, definitely grab it. Okay, so next up we have Manhunt. This is actually the censored version. I did originally have the uncensored version. The difference being the kill system in this this censored version, you get one sort of kill and that's it. In the original version, they were sort of graded depending on how long you sort of looked behind your target with them targeted. The colours were red, gold and green. I can't remember what the sort of order was. But yeah, they basically went up in scales of violence. But yeah, this is why I hesitated, because I hadn't realised that this was the censored version when I started playing it. That's why I'm just sort of lingering here really. Either way, it's still a very good game regardless of which version you get. And just as a bit of trivia, it's also linked in with the Grand Theft Auto universe, as the city that this is set in does get mentioned in at least one of the mainline Grand Theft Auto games, possibly more. Either way, pick it up if you see it, it's definitely worth it, if only for a little bit of dumb fun. Right, here we go. This one is Gradius 5 to be precise. Again, I'm not the best at these games by a long shot, as you'll probably see in the footage. But again, something that I always tend to enjoy, even if only for short bursts. Don't think this one was particularly cheap given the age of it, but yeah, that's the way these things go, isn't it? You know, the harder it is to find, the more expensive it usually is. Can't remember exactly what I paid. It was between 30 and 40 quid, so about the same as when it was new, I guess. So yeah, still a bloody good shooter, what though. Just got to get better at it. Right folks, here we have Gungrave, which is a game that even now I still know very little about. It's done in a very sort of anime, Saturday morning cartoon sort of art style, which I think looks absolutely great. Play wise, it's for some of you slightly more modern gamers, a little bit like Wet in some respects. Basically just march around just shooting the hell out of everything that gets in your way. There's not a lot of tactics. And yeah, there's a bit of story I've seen so far, and a few stages in is pretty good. Not always the easiest to understand as I remember. But yeah, a lot of dumb fun really, just going around blasting stuff and making everything go bang. Really good. Right, now for Marvel vs Capcom 2. Generally considered to be probably the best in the series, certainly better than some of the more recent efforts that they've put out. Although I've got to be honest, I do like the character selection in some of the newer ones a little bit better than this. If you could mix and match, I'd probably make the ideal one for me. But yeah, I mean, there's a good roster of characters all the same. From the Capcom universe, you've got people like Strider, you've got Jill Valentine from the Resident Evil games, amongst a myriad of others. On the Marvel side, you've got you know, Spider-Man, Wolverine, I believe Cyclops is in there, plus some bunch of other characters from the X-Men and other Marvel franchises. If you like your 2D fighters, you really cannot go wrong with this one. As long as it's under about, I don't know, maybe 30 quid, you've got to get it. No two ways about it. Next up we've got Res, which is a rail shooter that originally I believe came out on either the Saturn or the Dreamcast. And it's had several sort of slight revamps and upgrades and so on over the years since it first came out. This I think was one of the earlier ones, which is on the PS2 obviously. It's also been out on the Xbox 360 and then more recently the PS4. As rail shooters go, it's fantastic, particularly the more recent version on the PS4, because it has something called travelling, which is basically you can play throughout the game where you're virtually invincible and you're just enjoying the music and your interaction with it, really, as opposed to actually having to achieve anything. So if you just want something to sort of while away, an hour or two, just chilling out, bit of nice music to go with it, this would certainly fill that. But then if you want to take on a bit of a challenge and do like a proper rail shooter, there's obviously that option as well. Goes for about 10-15 quid on most platforms, I think. So yeah, I mean, I'd just say go get it now, really, because you can probably get a digital version off one of the stores. Yeah, grab it and enjoy it. Now here we have a couple of games that are on the Midway Arcade Treasures 2 disc. The first one up is Gauntlet 2. I mean, if you're an old schooler, the name Gauntlet, that's all you need to hear. There's not really a lot to be said. It's a great game for what it is, and very popular back in the day. The next game is Rampage, which I knew nothing of back in the day. Absolutely nothing at all. So glad I found it though, because it's so much fun. It's just silly, really silly, but good fun. Just gotta choose one of 3 characters, smash buildings, destroy helicopters and stuff as it comes for you. I'm just trying to think what else happens in it. If you get sort of shot too much, you don't really die as such. You just turn back into a human and scuttle off naked, which is kind of amusing the first couple of times it happens. There's various pickups that you get from smashing in the windows on the buildings, some of which definitely power-ups, but then others, not so much. Some of them have quite funny consequences, making the character either sort of fart or burn. I know it's juvenile, but it's still good fun. Okay, last up we've got the Taito Treasures 2 compilation disc. There's a plethora of shoot 'em ups, both horizontal and vertical, and every single one that I've played so far I've absolutely loved. I'll be honest, there's not a lot of variety between the shooters, but shoot 'em ups are shoot 'em ups. They're good for a few minutes and then you put them down and move on to something else. And I love them for it. There's a few on here that in the footage that you'll see. I'll be honest, I can't remember exactly which ones they were, but there's Metal Black, I think Grid Seeker, and a plethora of others, including a couple of Darius games, which, I mean, Darius games are great. You'll probably see one of them in a little while, because I know I did sort of play a bit of one for gathering the footage. So yeah, I mean, I can't remember what I paid for this, but it was certainly worth it, whatever it was. I've had hours and hours of fun out of this, just, you know, on even just a handful of machines. As I say, there's still games I need to try out on this one yet, so yeah, fantastic, pick it up.